Hello, and welcome to Havoc Wargaming, dedicated to bringing you the uncommon. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Ron, and today we're going to do a how-to-play video of Dropzone Commander, Edition 2 by TT Combat. So let's get started. I'm a bit of a fan of some of the TT Combat games. I play Carnivale, have for years. I play Rumble Slam. Recently I decided to give Dropzone a chance. It seems to be a pretty popular game by them. Opportunity to watch it played a little bit at a local convention up at Richmond at the beginning of this month. So I purchased it from Gopher Games and decided to give it a try. I'm really enjoying the game right now. One of the challenges I've found though is I'm not finding many how to play videos of the second edition available online. I did find a tournament being played by second edition by a group of people who apparently were part of the play testers and were playing the game now that it had been released. It may not be the most current of the rules, and they're often defining to each other how rules work, but not so much by us. I'll try to remember to put a link down below or up above if I can. Because it's somebody else's video, I'm not sure I can do it up above. But I'll try to put a link to that video when I can. I decided I would try to do my own to try to help alleviate that and help people who may be thinking about getting into this game to see how it works and to make a decision. Now, that all being said, I am in no way an expert on this game. In fact, I've only played, I guess, 3 games, but 2 of those were solo, and one of them will be the game that you're going to see here. So I don't know that I'm an expert on it. I don't doubt at all that I've made a number of mistakes. Some of them I already do know I've made. So I'll try to correct those in post-production and leave lower third comments that describe mistakes that I catch when I make it, but I'm sure there's some other ones I haven't caught at all. If you are a player of this game or familiar with the rules as they exist currently in the second edition, then please let me know what mistakes you catch and things, because I really enjoy this game and I want to play it some more and I want to try to fix those for my own purpose. In fact, I'll probably make another how to play video in the future after I have a few more games under my belt, so I can try to replace this one with more accurate information. I keep mentioning current rules. Like many modern games, I keep holding up the book that came in the 2-player starter set, but this is out of date. But TT Combat, like many of its other games, they have free copies, a free PDF of the rules available on their resources page. You can get to it by going to TT Combat, then hitting Dropzone, and then hitting the resources page. That is an updated copy. It's a living rule set, so they make changes directly onto that. For the game I'm showing you, I'm trying to use the updated rules, but sometimes by habit I keep going to the hard copy. I'm an old man who follows old habits. I have a PDF on my tablet, but I have a habit of forgetting it. I also use the game stats mostly from the cards that came with the 2-player starter set, and some of that I think may be outdated as well. But all of that's available. The cards are available online, updated cards and roster lists. There's an army builder online, much like they do for Carnivale, and that's the most up-to-date information is available there. So no further ado, let's go to the gaming table. This is the table we're going to be using for today's game. It is made up mostly of the Ruins projects from TT Combat, with a different mat and then a bunch of the TT Combat scatter terrain thrown around. We're going to be playing to take these 3 objectives. They should be equally across, which they're not. Maybe they should be. Maybe I should go ahead and just put this in this building. Make that a little more equal. So these are the objectives. They're hidden objectives in these garrisons that have to be freed and taken by the opposite forces, which have 6 rounds to do this. Just using the starter sets from the 2-player starter set package. So this is our UCM, 3 Condors and a Falcon Alpha. For the command, the 1 Condor is carrying the frontline group with 2 Bears and 2 squads of Legionnaires. And then we have the armor, and that consists of the 2 Condors there, and a group of Sabres and a group of Rapiers, and then the Wolf LAV for the commander. Over here, this is our Scourge. Again, it's the starter set, so I don't know if you can see this very well, but we have the Despot there, and his beta. Two squads of warriors, and their APVs are in their carriers there. And then we have anti-tank guns and anti-aircraft guns. So those are our two sides. They have a command level of 1. So they're going to begin the game with 1 card, and command card that is, and UCH will start with 3. One card that I've got for the Scourge is a Fortitude card that lets them just automatically pass Fortitude. And UCH gets Nerves of Steel, does the same thing. Get to the landing zone, friendly squad activates it, may double its MV. And Shock Assault, after drawing command cards, pick 1 friendly squad to activate immediately. This squad cannot activate during its battle group's activation this round. I should mention, we're just using the basic 2-player starter set for this game. My intention isn't really to show a game, it's going to be more to show how the rules of the game work. So this scenario calls for deployment off the table edges, but everybody's in readiness. There's no one in reserve, which would take certain amounts of time. But everyone's going to start at their table edge. The UCM, that means this side here, and the Scourge will be starting over on that side there. And we're going to roll off for start. The UCM has a +3 to this die roll. And so the UCM gets 8, Scourge gets 3. I think it's often a good idea, since this is a race for points, to take the turn, at least at the beginning of the game when you can, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start by activating my frontline battle group. This is the infantry, and get them in a position to start taking objectives. They're in a Condor just here. Now, Condor has a speed of 18. Means it can move 18 inches, but if it's going to be dropping off or in disembarking, it has to do that after half the movement. Can't move more than half. It can move less, but it can't move more than half, and then it has to land and disembark. I don't generally bother to actually do the landing, which is to take them off their stand and put them on the ground when I'm intending to just take back off again. But it is important that they be able to land. And what that means, they can't have impassable terrain that is underneath them. Now you activate per battle group, and then basically 1 squad at a time. Though they do state right in the rules that you don't need to really enforce that entirely. Like when disembarking, like I'm doing now, sometimes it makes sense to do part of the job. But normally you would finish a whole squad's movement before and activation before doing the other. Every unit gets 2 actions they can take, which is usually going to be move and shoot. He has landed, and he's going to disembark 2 APVs. They disembark within 2. And then he's able to finish his move. With most of the aircraft, except for most of the vehicles, in fact, except for the fast ones, you can make as many turns and changes as you want. I don't really need to do that necessarily, but what I do want to do is get him out of harm's way into cover. So I'm going to hide him back here, back behind the building he came from. So that's the Condor itself finished. The aircraft have to move no more than half their movement and then land when they're disembarking, but vehicles don't. So what we're going to do now, these vehicles have a 6. My understanding is that from the center to the center, that may just be for targeting, I don't know. But that's what I've been doing. So that one's going to move to there. And this one's going to move to there. They're also going to both disembark their people. Again, they disembark 2 inches away, and if it's 2 inches into a garrison, they can go right into the garrison. So this group can go right into that garrison. This group cannot. It'll fall just shy of it. But that's for disembarking, which is part of movement for the other vehicle. The other group is going to move into the building. But that's going to finish the move of that battle group. So we're going to go now to the Scourge. Now, Scourge could actually try to deal with what we just did, or they could try to take one of the other buildings. So the Scourge vehicles are quicker than the UCM, and they're skimmers, which makes them even faster. I think we're going to go ahead and bring in the Battlefront group. That group is in Marauders. The Marauders can go up to 24 inches, which so they're going to go 24 coming in. They're going to come in from, well, they can come right over these buildings. Aircraft can fly over any building that's under 8 inches. So they can come all the way under here to there. Then they're going to disembark. And then they could fly back and hide back here. So that flyer is done. Now we have the invaders, and the invaders, they move 6. So they can move up to this building. They're going to disembark their guys. So we're going to leave it at that for now. We're going to bring in our armor. Let's see, where do I want to put it? So that one's going to come to there. It's going to drop the tanks within 2. And then fly back over to behind this building. These are Sabres. They only move 4 inches. They can move more if they stay on the road. There's not that much road here. Move forward. 4. The range on their guns is 24 inch when active. I have a shot. All right, let me take this. 2 of them have a shot on the APV, just barely, way back there. It's definitely going to be hull down. What we do is we cross-reference on the chart. This is the Sabre tank. It's Avenger railgun. So against active countermeasures, if it was not active, you'd have infinite range. But because it's got countermeasures, it's going to have 24-inch range. We're well within that. It gets 1 shot at an accuracy level of 1 that does energy level 10 attack. Now, you'll notice this is articulated. You may have noticed if you look at our position over here that we are in fact behind those blocks, which would block most people's line of sight. But the articulated turret can rise up to as much as 1 inch. You can shoot over in any inch-tall terrain. So we are out of line of sight of that guy. Not that he can hurt us with his gun, probably, but he is not out of line of sight to us. So normally we would roll 1 die for each of these tanks and hit on a 1. But we had just disembarked, so we have a -2, so that brings us to 3. And he is hull down. That's another 2. So we need 5s to hit on 2 dice. Neither of those hit. And now we'll bring in the other tanks, the support weapons, which are the anti-aircraft tanks. It's going to work the same way. Vehicle Condor can fly in to 9 inches and then land. He drops within 2 inches of his location, the anti-aircraft tanks. Finishes his flight coming back to behind the building as best as he can get. They can move and they can shoot. They're going to move up to here. And there, these tanks in the back just here, they're going to fire at the building over here. There again, oh, they may be out of range. The Rapers have their Vindicator. It is an anti-aircraft gun, but it can also be, it doesn't have to be fired that way. So actually, range is infinite. It doesn't have active countermeasures, and of course, it's a building, it doesn't. This is one of the things you can do. By shooting at the building, I could cause collateral damage to the guys that are within it, and I could possibly take down the building. And if the building comes down before the objective is carried, it will be lost. We're going to be firing the normal AA Vindicator. I think this is legal. And it is 3 shots with an accuracy of 3. We're firing in the same turn that we disembarked, so that's going to make it 5. We're shooting at a building, which one would think would make it easier to hit, but it doesn't. Shooting at scenery is another 2. So that would make us 7, but 6 always hit. So we're gonna need 6s. And we didn't get a single one. So that's gonna take us over to the Scourge. The Scourge has to decide what it's gonna do with its tank guns or with its leader. I think we'll bring in its tank battalion. Normally, we would have the opportunity for reactionary fire when if these came into our range with anti-aircraft weapons, but the only anti-aircraft weapons I have on the table have already gone. The Marauder can fly over 12. It's going to come straight over these buildings because it can do that. It's going to land there. It can drop the vehicles off within 2. And then it's going to fly to the cover of this building. They're going to come up to here. The skimmers, they get a plus for their movement, a plus, I think it's 3, might be 2. But they also can go over items of 1 inch or 2 inches high, I can't remember which. But again, these aren't even 1 inch high. So these are armed with plasma cannons. They have a movement of 9 without the modifiers. Their range is 12, so that's no problem at all. We're going to take position under here. Gotta worry about coherency. And they can go ahead and shoot at that building. They're going to shoot at this building. That's going to be harder to take down because it's a big building. They have Devastator scenery, which means they're better at doing this. They'll do 2 damage for every hit they get. They only get 1 shot each, but they are energy 11. Now, their accuracy is usually going to be 2, but again, they disembarked, so that's going to make it 4. Shooting at a building is going to make it 6, so they need 6s to hit. They do not make it. That was only the first part of that group. We're also going to bring in the anti-aircraft weapons. They would appear to, but then they're going to take cover. They're not going to take their second action. They're going to be ready. Well, they can't. They could just fire. They should just fire because they're going to lose the ability. They can't shoot at aircraft anyway because you cannot ever use reactionary fire or any AA guns on your disembarking turn. So the Reaper with its arc caster gets 2 shots. So this is going to be 6 dice. They're going to shoot at that same building again. That's going to be only 4 can get line of sight on that. So 4 of them are shooting at this building here. Accuracy would normally be 2. They disembarked 4. Building makes it 6. Need 6s. Those are 2 hits. Now we're going to have to roll. It's the first time we've actually done damage. They're going to have to roll to beat 10 armor. So the way that works, these weapons have an energy of 8. So you're going to roll the 2 dice, 1 for each hit, and you're going to roll them to 8, and anything that beats 10 will hit. So that's a 9 and a 13. So 1 misses, but 1 hits, and hits well over its intended amount. We rolled over 2. Anytime you roll to do damage and you beat your number by 2, which we did in this case, you beat the armor by 2 and we beat it by 3, it's a critical roll. That would normally do 2 damage on a vehicle or on one of the, but on a building it still only does 1. However, it also will do collateral damage. And collateral damage is a bigger deal. Collateral damage does damage to the guys in the building. So what we're going to do, we're going to use these sort of aqua dice to represent damage to the building, and the blue die is going to represent collateral token. Collateral tokens are usually rolled on the roundup turn, but when there's a garrison in the unit, like there is here, you roll for it immediately. So the first thing we do when there's collateral damage is we have to roll an automatic hit of 4 energy against the scenery piece. So that means I'm rolling a d6 and adding it to 4, 10. Now that was to the building, so the building takes 1 more damage. And then we roll against the people the same way. This will be for every unit in there. That one, okay, that doesn't work. Now because the building did get damage from the collateral, if it didn't, that token would be gone. But now the token stays and it'll be affected a second time. That was done. We did some damage there. It goes back to CM. All I have left is my commander. The commander can do some cool stuff, but he's also not that hard to take out. What do I want to try to do with him? His vehicle, which is the Raven Light dropship, can go up to 24 inches. So again, it can go 12 and disembark. I'm going to fly that. And that'll be him done. And then lastly, I have the Scourge commander. Scourge commander's vehicle flies 30. Into there. That would take us to the roundup phase. Now we have to roll again for the collateral damage that is still on the building in the middle. So first, there is a strength 4 attack against the building. That's 9, it doesn't beat its armor. And then the strength 4 collateral against the guys, that is, they have to beat 7. So 5, that is a 9, so that does beat it. Because it didn't do damage to the building, there won't be more collateral. And then we go to turn 2. We have to roll off again. And this time the Scourge is going first. What does the Scourge want to do first? They could try to take that building. I'm going to go ahead and activate the Despot. I'm going to take his vehicle to here. I'm going to land and drop the Despot here. I don't know if this was a very good idea or not. The Despot is right there. I just landed him and I'm going to try to take out anti-aircraft tanks with him is my plan. This is a little audacious, but the Scourge are very forward. He can move up to 6. Just really like the idea of him staying in cover. I'm going to move him there. He's going to use his hoses against those and his feet against the... The hoses have 5 shots with an accuracy 4. They're not horribly accurate. 5 shots is a lot of shots. So we will roll for those first. 4 to hit. He's disembarked, so it's a 6. They are all, everybody's in the wide open. So 1s always miss. No 6s. Wow, not a single hit. That's not good. But now he's within 2 inches of the bear as well. So he can attack with his razor claws. That is only 1 shot, but it attacks at a 2 or higher, so again, 4. 4. That is a hit. It is a 10 item. Ooh, 16. That is probably defeats the bear's armor. Yeah, it does. But the bear takes multiple hits, though. Yeah, bears take 2 damage points. So that bear has taken 1 damage, and that is that turn done. I think we're going to need to deal with that. But do we deal with it now? No, we don't deal with it now. Instead, I'm going to activate my battle group. He's going to drive up to that vehicle so he can scan next turn. This one's going to scan. No. He's going to move away from that guy. So he can't scan, unfortunately. We're going to move to the windows. And then we're going to shoot at the Despot. I've never done this, but these guys have little cannon things. Let's see what how they work and what their ranges are. A missile launcher, that's what it is. 9 inches if it has got active, which it does. Well, that's clearly 9 inches. I've got 3 of these things shooting, because there's 1 in each of the squads. So I get 3 dice, 3s to hit. I got 1 hit. What a lousy roll. I got 1 hit. That's going to do a Energy 9 attack. We need to defeat armor 15. So I need 6, and I don't get it. So I think that'll be the end of that turn, and it goes to the Scourge player. Scourge is in a better position over here for his... He's got a ship that's been in adjacent and doesn't have to move. So the other vehicle is going to go over to here. No, I can't, because he could go inside, though. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do what we should have done in the first place. So he's pinning his other squad. They're disembarking and they're going in the building. There would be a scan token which we can play. One unit is going to roll a die for searching. It's now got another squad with it. So it's going to have a +2 to its roll. And it wants to get a 7, 5, 6, it got 7. So they have an objective. They still have one action. So that unit can leave and embark into their vehicle. I believe their vehicle counts as having activated, though, since it used the scan. So I'm not going to let it take off, but they're in this APV ready to go. The other guys just got there. They can't re-embark and disembark at the same time. Besides, they have to help search. So I think we'll just leave them there for a while. That'll be that turn done. Or do I fly a... Yeah, I'm going to fly a vehicle over into that area to be prepared to get them away. I think what I need to do is activate the boss. I'll fly over here, drop the wolf, and then run over to here for cover. The reason I'm doing that is the wolf can do some cool stuff, and he's going to do that because he's got line of sight on the APV that they just jumped into. So we're going to try to shoot at that APV. It's going to hurt because of the negative, but the wolf has a choice. I've got a multi-missile air bursts, which gives me multiple shots, or I have a multi-missile anti-armor, and that's what I think I want to do. That's my Alt 1. Technically, it only gives me one shot, but it's one shot at accuracy 2, energy 9, that is penetrative, which means if I roll a 6, it hits no matter what the armor of the thing was. And it has strafe 3. Strafe 3 lets me shoot either up to 3 targets that are within 2 inches of each other, but I can also attack 3 times. So that's the thing here, because there is objective in that box, I think, or in that APV. I think it's worthy to do the 3 attacks on the one vehicle. So I am in range, yeah. It's the range on this thing is 8 inches. I may not be. Oh yeah, I am. It's 2s normally to hit. He is not held down, and I did disembark, so I need 4s to hit. 2 hits. So that's 2 hits at 9s, a 1 and a 4. That's not particularly good. The invader has an armor of 13. So 1 hit, 1 miss. The invader takes 2 hits, so I can take 2 hits. So that did not have the effect I wanted. It's better than nothing. I did do 8 damage to it, but I really wanted to take it out because he could be gone next turn. So that's me done. I've got to think about what the Scourge is going to do in response to that. Everything's on the table, which isn't great for anybody. Oh, look at that. I shoot at the APV because I stupidly drove it the wrong direction. What was I thinking? I drove that APV to get out of line of sight from the boss, but I completely forgot that there were these tanks just there, the hunters. So those hunters are going to shoot at my APV. And that's probably not good. The hunters, they only get 1 shot each. They are devastators. Well, they're devastators against scenery or infantry. This isn't either. It's a plasma cannon. It's got a 12-inch range, 1 shot, accuracy 2. Shooting at an armored vehicle. It is in the open, so it's just going to be those 2s. Wow, I rolled 2 1s. So only the 4 is going to hit. Don't need much more than that, though. It is a energy 11. If I remember right, the bears are 13? Yeah, the bears are 13. I only need a 2. Which I got a 6. So that does another hit to the bear. The bear already had taken 1 hit. That bear is gone. So that's problematic. I don't have the ability to scan anymore. And my exit route, at least for one of my units, is gone. Unless they walk off the table. Not good. Now it goes back to the GCH. I think they need to deal with him. These guys I think need to shoot over here. So my 3 tanks are going to shoot at the despot. Oh, can they shoot at the despot? 24 inches, yeah, I certainly can. They're 1 shot each. They're all going to shoot at the despot here. They need 1s to hit. There's no other modifier. Yeah. They all hit. 3 hits. Energy 10. All 3 are 5, so I did 15 on each of those hits. I think this thing, what is this thing's armor? 15, exactly. I did 3 hits to a vehicle that takes 2. I took out their boss. It's not going to have a huge effect because you can always have at least 1 command card. So losing him doesn't take their command card away. I guess it probably limits range. The tanks took that out. We still have other tanks left. The Vindicators, or the anti-aircraft tanks, what are those, Rapiers? The Rapiers could hit the building. I can either hit with the wide, which does 8 dice, but has only 4 energy. So I would need 6s to actually do damage. Or I can do with the regular Vindicator, which hits only 3, but is a 7, so I'm more likely to hit. I think that's what we're going to do. All 3 of them can shoot. So we need 3s, we're shooting at a building, we need 5s. Oh, we don't really need to, well, we could take out the guys. That's the only point in doing this, is that we might take out some men. Alright, so only did 2 points, only hit twice. But this is 7s hitting a building, so it's got armor 10. So those are 2 hits on the building. 2 hits, one of which is a collateral. I'm pretty sure that was right. So we roll for the collateral token immediately. So it's a 4 strength hit against the building. That doesn't do damage to the building. And strength tip to the guys in the unit. 4 or 5 doesn't do grip to them either, and because it didn't do damage building, it goes away. So no more collateral token. That was not really, that's my tank group done. This could leave the table. So I guess that's the end of that turn. I go to turn 3. We're gonna roll off again. This time it's +3 and plus nothing. So I get to go first. That's good. We're going to try to hit with the rockets again. We're going to try to hit the APV with the rockets from the boss. This is the anti-armor. So it's going to be 3 shots because he's using strength. They're penetrative. They hit on 2s. I need 2s. He hasn't been able to move. Alright. So I hit twice. This is a penetrative energy 9 weapon. And we're shooting at an invader that has 13 armor. So I need 4s. I got 1 hit. So that's going to do another point of damage. But I think he still takes, no, he takes 2. So we take that vehicle out. So what has to happen now is we have to roll to see what happens to the people in it. This doesn't necessarily take the unit out. And that's not why I did it. I did it because it's going to slow the people down. They can't just get into a jump aircraft now. They either have to be picked up by the other APC or they're going to have to walk, neither of which is great for them. So first we're going to roll a D3. On a 3 there's no effect. On 1 or 2 each unit embarked suffers that many energy 10. So if I roll a 3, none of them are even hurt. That would be a 3 because it's a D3. So none of them are even hurt. So the embarked unit is within 2 inches of the destroyed transport before removing it. If they cannot be placed, they would be taken off the table, but they're going to be able to be placed. All right, so Alright, so they need to get out of there. And I was activating my boss. So I think the thing to do is to shoot at them with my plane, because that could probably do some damage to them. The Raven Light dropship has a move of 24. It has no limit on move and fire. So it's going to race. So I can just come right around the corner, fire at them with Gatling guns. They're twin Gatling guns. I got 4 shots. They are ACC 4+. hit with 2. The energy is only 3, but I only have to beat 7. I got a 6 and a 4. I needed to beat 7. A 6 is going to beat, so it would be a 10, so that's beat by 3. That's a critical. And the 4 is a 7, so that one's just barely. So I did a damage to 2 of the units. I did 3 damage, basically. It is their action. There's no choice here but to bring the other APC over to here. And, I don't think they can embark. Yeah, because that was this turn. Yeah, I don't think they can. But they'll be ready to next turn. I'll bring this unit out. Oh, that's the trick right there. Bring this unit out. They take, and then they embark. Yeah, and so it could have been here. It could have moved here, and then over to here. All right. No, it could have moved into here. And then that can probably move off the table. So they're gone. What I just did, this unit came down, took the objective from these guys here, got into the APV. The APV re-embarked, and then the dropship left. So they have an objective. They have got an objective off the table. I'm not even sure if they have to get them off the table in this scenario, but they did. I think these may just be hold. That means it's the UCH's turn. UCH could not have stopped that. I could try to find things. We can do a scan on there, and so then they can roll. This is for the middle building here. I need, that's not going to be successful. They can't find it. I could look at the other one too. Well, the other guys can't, they can't find it. No, but they could start moving into this building. They can. We're going to find that one. We're just going to leave the other one behind. That's them done. To bring the tanks around to here. And fire devastators into those infantry. Or the pulse guns. They have devastator against infantry, which is what I'm referring to. These are hunters with a plasma cannon. Devastator 2, scenery, or infantry. Which means they could do a lot of damage here. They do 1 shot each. They have a 2 to hit. These is infantry in the open because we thought we'd make it. They just need the 2s. 2 of them hit. They hit with 11s. Wow. That's going to be a 12 and a 16. So in both cases, they're criticals. I don't think you do critical on a Devastator, though. Those are 2 hits that do 2 hits each. So that's going to reduce one of those units to 4 guys. We'll activate our tank unit. So 2 of those are going to get shots, 1 on the far one on the middle one. These are Avenger rail guns. They shoot at 24 inches, well into range. 1 inch, they have 1 inch to hit. These guys are in the open. So the first one is a hit, the second one is a miss. The one that is a hit, it takes a 10, 16, that has got to be, yeah, armor's 13. So, and they only take 1 hit, don't they? Yeah. So one of those tanks is gone. Technically it was the middle one. I forgot to activate the other Scourge. They should have gone too. They can shoot into that building, which is what they should have done. These are the anti-aircraft guns, so they should be shooting at the building that still has people in it. We're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're not going to shoot the wide Vindicator. So we have 3 of them, each firing 3 shots. They're going to hit on 5s. It's weird to me that it's hard to hit a building. I only have 1 hit. 1 hit. 1 hit, but it's with a 10, so it's going to hit automatically, which it does. Damage to the building, or no, that'll only do 3 points of damage to the building. but it's going to put another collateral on it. We have to roll for that. So the building takes another damage, and the units, they take another damage. And the collateral will stay on this time because it did do building damage. I think that's done. So now we have to do that collateral damage. So on the building, 5 doesn't do more damage to the building. The people, it does. This takes us to turn 4. We're over halfway through the game. Only 1 point has been scored so far. That's rough. We have to roll off to see who has initiative. I get a +3. They do not. They get a 6, however. 6 is 6. So it is again GCH first. They have to get in here. Actually, the move there is to shoot first. So they should shoot at the 3 tanks, 2 tanks, 2 at the one in the wide open. This is with a missile launcher. It's 1 shot, 2 at the middle, needs a 3 to hit. 1 hit, and 1 at the other one, it's 2 hits. This weapon does 9 energy, so the first one in the middle does 13, that's out, and the other one does not. That's another tank out, and then they run into the building. The squad that's in the building, which is their same battle group, they have the scanning vehicle outside, so it should scan first actually, but they should have a scan token for that vehicle and the extra unit now, so they have a +2 to the die roll, but I still only rolled a 3. They cannot find that thing. It's going to cost them the game, man. Cannot find the thing. I think the thing to do is to use the tanks. So all of the tanks are going to fire at this building, all of the Scourge tanks. One of those is a rail gun from right next to, or a plasma gun, which does extra damage. Plasma gun, this is the Hunter. It has 1 shot, AC2. The building, shooting at a building is going to make it 4, but it has Devastator. So 4. He misses from right next door. The other vehicles are shooting their arc casters. They get 2 shots each. They need 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits. 4 hits, but they do less damage. They only do 8s, but they only need 2s to hit. Right? Those all hit, and in fact, they actually all do 4 collaterals. Well, that's rough. So, we will roll first. 1, 2, 3. It's the squad that was originally in there. It's not. It's the guys that just came in. For the first one, I mean, it's going to take a 4. That's a hit on its... Actually, we could just roll that. 1, 2, 3. That's those guys there. The second one, that's a 10. That's going to hit somebody. That's going to be this unit. And the third one, that's a hit. That's going to hit somebody on that one. And 4, that's a hit on the third unit. And the building should have rolled for it. I don't think I did that yet. 6, so that's a hit. So it's now at another 3, and that's going to stay because of that. Our turn. I'm going to activate my headquarters and drive it over to here. The headquarters, I'm going to shoot those 3 anti-aircraft tanks. Alright, so it's got 9s to hit. Everything's in the wide open now. I need 2s to hit. All 3 hit. So I have 2 hits on the other 2 tanks. at 9s. One is definitely a hit, and the other is not. Right, those are probably 13s. So I took out one of them. I don't think the infantry can do much, can they? They could try, right? Let's see what the infantry can do, anything. Oh, but I can shoot the infantry. Let's do that first. Because that was the Wolf Command, which means I can shoot my Gatling guns too. So these are 4 shots, hitting on 4s. It's only 2 hits. Only 1 hits. It does do a crit. So one of the bases is gone. Right now, we can try to do something over there. We can, let's see if they can even do anything. Front line, all they have is rifles, 3s. Ooh, they do have focus. Yeah, they're going to try to attack me. So they get 5 shots. What we're going to try to use is focus here. We have everybody there. We're well within 12. We just need 3 hits. All right, so 1, 2, what do I need? 3s. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 hits. They may be able to take him out because they have focus 3, which means I can reduce what I do. I only do a 3, so all I can do is 9 normally. But that weapon has an armor of 12. Right? So, let's do the math here. 12, we do 3, 9. So I need to wrap at least 1. That will give me 3. Let's do 2. That'll make it 6, 7, 8, 9. And that'll be 9. Alright. So, plus 9, 10. That doesn't do it. 9, 10. That doesn't do it. None of those would have made it, actually. All right. That hurts. I think that's done for the Scourge, too. Am I done actually for everybody? Pretty sure I'm done with everybody. So we're going to go to turn 5. We roll off again. Got a 5. And a 9. Going to start the same way we did last time with the command group. So the ship is going to shoot into those guys again with the Gatling guns. 4 shots, needing 4s to hit. Got 2 hits. These are energy 3s, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 7. So I do 3 points of damage. They're going to have to roll. No, they're going to play their card, so they won't have to roll. So they're going to stay there. I'm going to shoot the missiles of the vehicle, of the Wolf. Again, this is 3 shots, needing 2s. All 3 hit. We do 9s. Really? Okay, so I did nothing to him. That's a waste. No, they're going to fire at me. Why not? So that's 5, 6, 7 guys. 7 guys with plasma rifles. They need 3s to hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get 5. These are ridiculous. All right, so we're going to do, that would be 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, that would be 13. I think that's a point. That is. That's 2 points, actually. And then the other one, this is going to be 1 plus 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That doesn't quite do it. But the other one did 2. So, the critical damage on my Wolf. That scans, so that's going to be good. They've got +2 to their die roll. Finally, we'll give this one to this group. They search and they find it. They're going to climb on downstairs. And embark in their vehicle. It's going to get the hell out of there. Can't get to there. 6, 9. They could go here and then shoot at 1. The rapiers have a, those are the arc casters, the reapers though, so they don't have a 9-inch. I think I'm way out of range. Yeah. Not if they move, which would be a good idea anyway. They can if they don't do reactionary fire, so they'll just go on their turn. Do I shoot at the vehicle? I have a better chance of taking down the Condor. Yeah, we're going to shoot the Condor. 2 shots at the Condor. We need 2s to hit. All of those hit. 4 hits. And they're energy 8s. The Condor can take, it only takes 10 points of damage. 8. That's 2 hits. That's 2 hits. It's gone. Condor's gone. Roll to see if it blows up. Or does damage to everything within 2 inches. Okay, we're okay. That Condor is gone. He's got 1 shot with a hunter. It's 2 dice, devastating. Not in this case. Needs 2s to hit, except that it's 4s. 1 hit. Does 11. 12, 13, 14, that takes out that tank. That's everything on his side. Those guys have two shots, 1 on each. This is railgun, 1 each, not hull down. Accuracy 1s, both hit. They do 10s right off. So the closest tank, 10, 11, 12, that is probably not going to take him out. Nope. And the other tank is gone. Now we have the Vindicators. They're going to shoot 3 shots each. They need 3s to hit. 5 hits. The Vindicator does 7. That's nothing. That won't do anything. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's probably 13. Yeah, that won't do anything. I need 6s. None of those hit. Man, just too whippy. And that is that turn done. So we have to do the damage for the building. So 6, 4, it takes another damage. I need to get those guys out of there just because the building is going to collapse. And against them, 8, it'll be 1, 2, 3. I should have taken them out just to save them. This is the last turn of the game. We roll off. It's going to be humans first. What's the thing to do? We're going to drive this to there. We're going to bring one of these to there. It's going to embark, and then it's going to go. We are now tied. It is their turn. We're going to shoot the commands tank over here. That's going to be 7 dice. We're looking for 3s to hit. Alright, they have 5 hits. These are only 3s though, 3 energy, so I don't think I can even hurt them. What am I doing? Oh, because of focus. So, we take 3. That'll make that 9, 10, 11, 12. All I need is a roll. Yeah, it's 2 points of damage. Let's see, the wolf takes 2 damage. It already had 2. That was crit anyway, so we take out the commander. Commander's tank is taken out, I lose most of the cards I have immediately. Then I'll go ahead and activate the flyer for that guy. This is the Raven Light drop ship. It's got 4 shots. Roll those. I hit with 3. This is an energy 3 weapon. So only one of those does anything, so he only loses another guy. That's not what I wanted. I'm going to go ahead and shoot at the forward anti-aircraft tank with the anti-aircraft Scourge tank. It's got 2 shots, hits on 2s. This is over here. Both hit. But that tank only does 8. 9, 10, 10. 2 10s, it's not going to hurt him. This tank will come over here and fire at that same tank. It has 1 shot, hitting it 2. That hits. That's 11. 13, that tank is gone. And lastly, that tank is going to, or my tanks are shooting back. So the tank against the tank, 1 shot, getting a 1, that's a hit. Does 10. 13, just enough, takes that tank out. And then the 3 Vindicators. 3 Vindicators, shooting at 1 tank. Need 3s. Lousy roll. It's probably enough though. Got 4 hits. It's only 1 tank. Vindicators only do 7 though. So that's a 13. That takes it out. First one. Last thing is just to get the people out of that building. So they stop taking collateral damage. And that is the end of that turn. This is a CM victory, mostly because of casualties. I took a lot more Scourge casualties. So that's at least as close as I can come right now to what a Dropzone Commander game may look like. As I said, I'm going to try to do another version later on when I'm a little bit more familiar with the rules. The rules are pretty straightforward. They're just not always well laid out in the book. And also, there's a lot of moving parts. This game is meant to do near future or futuristic game, and it's got lots of different options, different parts, different things that work together in ways that are not always, I mean, it's very easy to forget things. I mean, let me tell you right now, if you make videos like this, you're gonna make mistakes on your videos anyway. Even games, you know, the stupidest rules go out of your head when you're playing in front of the camera and thinking about what you're doing with the camera as well as the game. But I'm not even in that condition with these rules at all. I'll try to improve on that in the future. I'm enjoying the game. This is like TT Combat. My understanding, I can't compare it much to the first edition, but my understanding is it's simpler than the first edition. That's very typical of TT Combat's rules when they take over an edition. They did the same thing with Carnival. At the time when it was happening, I was disappointed. I never played the old rules for Carnival, but I own them. And the old rules are what first drove me into the game. And then they were making changes when we were doing the Kickstarter that would be, why are you doing that? But in the end product, they were right. They had simplified the game. They got rid of separate systems that weren't necessary to make it easier to play the game, treated more things in a similar fashion. And my understanding is a lot of the same thing has happened here with Dropzone. The figures are pretty much the same. I have models that are the old Hawk models and are the new TT Combat models, and they're mostly pretty similar. I hear that the Warriors have changed quite a bit, and not to the better. But the models themselves look pretty similar. And they certainly work well with each other. Like I say, I've been mixing and matching both. It is an inexpensive game to get into. I mentioned I have the 2-player starter, but for the same price, you can do an army starter. If you were getting started with a group of people in your area, I wouldn't recommend getting the 2-player starter. I'd each get your own player box. They retail, I think they're £35 on the TT Combat page. You can get them here in the United States at Go for Games, where I bought mine. They're after shipping and The alteration to dollars, they're about $45, $48 or something. So not a huge expense to begin with. The difference, of course, is the two-player army set comes with half as many of each side's figures. It comes with the Scourge and the United Colonies of Mankind, but you only get half the number of figures that you would have gotten in the starting box. And so the starter boxes are a better setup for building your army. Particularly since the basic grunts, the warriors and the legionnaires, are a little hard to come by right now, though I've been able to find some used online. So I'd really recommend, if you've got two people getting into this game, there's no reason to go with the two-player set. Each buy a starter army. The rolls come in each, the little freebies, the set of dice, a ruler and a template come in both of those games, either way. Or either of those boxes. The terrain you saw is the buildings are all there, Ruinscape, which is about the same price as everything else. So getting started in this game is just really not that expensive. And it never will need to be really expensive, depending on how big your armies build, unless you get into the purchasing of the behemoths. Some of those are very expensive, but they're also huge. They're very large pieces of resin. I do want to get the Scourge Tyrant at some point. I just think he looks great and evil walking through these tables. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you play the game or are interested in the game, I hope you'll put comments down below. Also, if you have any ideas for further content you'd like to see us produce here on Cry Havoc Wargaming, we look in the comment section for that as well. If you've enjoyed the video, I hope you'll hit like, and if you'd like to continue to receive notifications for videos like this one that may help you determine how to better spend your money or time in your tabletop wargaming hobby, then I hope you'll hit subscribe and ring our notification bell. Till next time, cheers.